Army rescues one more corps member in Zamfara kidnapping. Court awards 10 million naira compensation for Emir Bayero against Kano State government. Court orders status quo in Rivers Assembly crisis. Another foreign thing, lawmakers take oath of office ahead of election of President VP in South Africa. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thanks for joining us. Now, a combined effort of the security agencies led by the officers and men of 2 battalions under 1 division of Nigerian Army Kaduna has led to the rescue of one of the remaining 2 prospective corps members kidnapped in Zamfara in August last year. With this, a total of 7 out of the 8 corps members have been rescued. A statement by Director of Information and Public Relations, Eddie Megwa, said efforts are still ongoing to secure the safe release of the remaining male prospective corps members who are still in custody of the kidnappers. Speaking on the rescue, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Ahmed, appreciated the efforts of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies for their dedication and commitment towards the rescue of the victims. He expressed optimism that the remaining corps members will also be rescued very soon. On to litigation matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has awarded 10 million naira compensation for Emir Aminu Ado Bayero against Kano State government that ordered for his arrest and eviction from the Nasarawa Mini Palace. Justice Simon Ahmud Beda delivered the judgment in a fundamental right enforcement suit filed by the deposed 15th Fulani Emir. The court held that it has jurisdiction to hear and entertain the matter being fundamental right enforcement application, averring that Ado Bayero has the liberty and legal right to move freely and live anywhere in Kano or elsewhere in Nigeria. The court, however, declined to order eviction of the reinstated Emir Muhammad Sanusi from the Gideon Rumfa Palace sought for in the application. Counsel for Kano State Government and Emir Sanusi Ibrahim Isa Wangida said this judgment is a victory for the Emir and his admirers, as the court did not void the law that warranted Sanusi's reinstatement. He said the judgment has restrained the state government or any security agencies from breaching the rights of the Emir. A court of appeal holding in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has ordered the parties involved in the ongoing House of Assembly crisis in the state to maintain status quo. The Court of Appeal gave the order in a suit instituted by Honorable Martin Chike Amewule and 24 others, who are the appellants against Right Honorable Victor Okojombo and 5 others. Amewule and others had approached the Apex Court seeking to vacate the interlocutory injunction of a high court sitting in Port Harcourt, which empowered Okojombo to keep on with the leadership of the State Assembly. Justice Charles Wiley of the State High Court had also in a ruling ordered Amewule and 24 others to stop parading themselves as speaker and lawmakers in the legislative arm of the state. The court also held that all the laws made by Amewule and others were in nullity until the determination of the matter. The case has been adjourned till 20th of July. Still on court matters, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, has called for the support of the judiciary in tackling the twin challenges of crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. Kyari made the call at the National Judges Capacity Building Workshop on the Petroleum Industry Act, organized by the National Judicial Institute, NJI, and Invest in 234 on Thursday in Abuja. In a goodwill message he delivered at the workshop, the GCEO stated that the gains of the PIA have been severely undermined by crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism, and urged the judiciary to consider the creation of a special court to try offences related to crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism, or granting accelerated hearings to such cases. According to him, the role of the judiciary was critical to the successes of the efforts of the various security arrangements put in place by NNPC, law enforcement agencies, and other stakeholders in the industry. Still on the NNPC, the Limited has applied to a High Court of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja to stop its ongoing legal action against several subsidiaries of Mobile Nigeria and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. An NPC in a motion filed on June 11, 2024 by their legal counsel Afeba Balola and Co. requested the court to grant leave for discontinuance and to strike out the suit with the provision to relist it should the settlement process fail. An NPC in the motion stated that the application was part of a broader effort to finalize a settlement agreement involving the divestment of 100% interest in Mobile Producing Nigeria Unlimited to Seplat Energy Offshore Limited. As stated in the motion, one of the conditions required for the settlement agreement requires an NPC to withdraw the suit to facilitate the settlement. Over the years, various reforms have been implemented to enhance electoral processes, ensure greater transparency, and promote the independence of INEC and inclusivity. However, despite these advancements, a critical gap remains in the effective dissemination of information regarding the electoral legal framework among the populace, particularly the youth demographic. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks with stakeholders in electoral matters about the importance of bridging this information gap among citizens and the crucial role technology can play in addressing this issue.
The main objective of addressing the electoral information gap, particularly among the youth, is to provide easily accessible bite-sized information on electoral legal frameworks. This effort aims to enhance political consciousness and understanding among citizens, especially young people, and foster their constructive engagement in the democratic process. With the Ondo and Edo elections approaching, utilizing technology is crucial to achieving this goal.
An area where technology and information are pivotal, ensuring our young people have the tools and knowledge to engage in the democratic process actively is essential. I wish to emphasize the government's determination to deploy technologies that enhance our democratic processes. The Federal Executive Council, beyond just technologies as well, the administration of President Bola Tinubu is committed to ensuring that we formulate policies and facilitate the participation of more young people in governance.
A citizen in Edo and Ondo can go on this platform and then ask questions about my polling unit. So it's going to give you where your polling unit is. It's going to tell you where you can locate it. 2, it's also going to tell you the number of registered voters we have, and you can also in those 2 states, and then you can break it down to wards and break it down to local government. And lastly, which is the most important thing, is that nobody is telling you, okay, there's not going to be beavers is not going to be used, and then the step-by-step of how beavers is going to be used on election day.
Involving technology in electoral process is some way to go, especially in this 21st century. Other climes have gone past this. We are coming behind, but there's a way to go.
In every election, accurate and comprehensive information is necessary to ensure that all men and women understand their rights. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, lack of transparency and accountability have been identified as the major setbacks to the development of Nigeria in the last 25 years. Benue residents say for the country to get it right, corruption must be rooted out from the social, economic and political offices. Jimmy Adzande reports.
The residents highlighted activities of state governors, whom they say have performed below the expectations of Nigerians. They pointed out that most public office holders leave their respective duty posts richer than the establishments.
We expect to see some level of transparency and accountability on the state or the state governors, just the way we are seeing with the federal government. And in most states, people don't really seem to know what's happening. People don't even know about the allowances, and a lot of things regarding the cost of governance. And also reduce costs and ensure that across board, they see to it that the sufferings of Nigerians are reduced.
Others say the failure of leadership is not peculiar to Nigeria.
Africa, politics of underdevelopment is the order of the day. It is key everybody is concerned about getting involved in corrupt practices. And so until our people realize that this kind of politics that we play here in Africa is not getting us anywhere.
The vision of the president, if he puts you there in a particular position as a minister, he has to give you a target on what he expects you to do. And if you don't meet the target, then you should be shown the way out.
Redemption to the local people within the state and also within their locals, has turned out to be not just only a huge disappointment, but also a dangerous menace to the already disease they had before the establishment of the system. So to my mind, it's not working.
They are saying patriotism can eliminate some of these excesses from the political elites in Nigeria, a situation that will pave way for a better country.
We do not have any other country. This is ours. And for us to have it, change, for the people to like Nigeria and want to stay back to work and earn a living and to also live a robust life, we need to restructure every aspect of our citizenship. We need to restructure our government. We need to restructure politically. We need to restructure economically.
Nigerian leaders often acknowledge the rough in the system while seeking for power, but in most cases left these offices worse than they met them. Benue residents say that governance has been reduced to economic prosperity for family and friends. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Now, Nigeria's unemployment rate at 5%. Some youths are tilting towards agriculture to earn a living as demand for produce continues to surge across the country. A cross-section of youths who spoke to Trust TV News say this is the new direction for the country as it reflects on Nigeria's democratic journey. Trust TV's Adamu Imam files in the report.
Nigeria's food crisis means an opportunity exists for farmers to step up and fill the gaps that exist due to food shortages in the country, with food inflation at over 32.74%. In Bauchi State, some youth are keen into the opportunities in agriculture to make ends meet as formal jobs are hard to come by. This life is so boring and we have no alternative than to choose farming as our next destination because we tried other ways but no results at all. Because we have the energy to farm, that is why we decided to come all out. My father used to tell us about buying grains in the markets. So now I decided to engage myself fully in farming activities because I need to be self-reliant and feed my family with what I cultivate for at least one good year. Just in case, I am doing this to get food security. I am not praying for unfortunate to happen. Some of the respondents decry the unending hardship in the country, which is forcing a lot of people to the brink.
So you must go from either we like it or not to find solution in this life. So remember, if you see me, I'm a new military regime. So there's a lot of major problem that generally that is a universal problem in Nigeria. That's why if I didn't have a duty, I'll pack my duty and go farm to come and find money to go and feed my family.
So democracy there is good. So based on their development country, but Nigeria are under development country. So the problem is more challenges. That is why now.
If you look at the Nigerian flag, what we learned right from the primary school can say is green, white, green. And maybe if you're now going to look at it and see what does these symbols mean, you see that the green is for look at that is for the agriculture. So now I believe that without food, there's a lot of problem.
Many say the removal of fuel subsidy has created a critical situation in the country, with hunger and poverty increasing at an alarming rate. For these youths, farming has presented them with a lifeline for survival. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Pilgrims in Mecca have gone 3 days of compulsory Hajj rituals as part of the criteria for the pilgrimage as a fifth pillar of Islam. Sharif Al-Hassan, who is in the largest tent city in Mina, brings us an update on the pilgrims' arrival.
Over 1.5 million pilgrims across the world will be converging here in Mina, the 10th city, for a 3 days Hajj rituals, which include standing on the plain of Arafat, subsequent spending of the night in Muzdalifah, and stoning of the devil in Jamarat. We'll be talking to pilgrims and how readiness they are in order to embark on this rigorous spiritual journey here in Mina.
I feel very excited, very, very excited. I'm privileged to be part of this 2024 Hajj exercise. I want to use this medium to thank the government of Adamawa State, especially the executive governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintiri, for giving me this very opportunity to come and be part of this exercise. And I will pray for the state, Adamawa State government, and I will pray for the governor and his family and his relatives, and I will pray for the country, and I will pray for all Muslims, inshallah.
As the pilgrims continues to stay here in Mina for the period of 3 days, authorities in Saudi Arabia as well as the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria have been advising pilgrims to stay indoors and take plenty of water in order to stay hydrated in view of the current harsh weather condition in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. From Makatum Makarama, Sharif Al-Hassan, Trust TV News.
Still staying with the Salah celebrations, but back here in Nigeria, the tough economic condition is taking a toll on social lives as most people can no longer celebrate festivities with merriment. Few days to this year's Salah, Ram and other markets in Makurdi are devoid of the usual glamour of buying and selling. Jimmy Azande has more in this report.
This is one of the Ram markets in the Wadata part of Makurdi metropolis. In the past, a day like this will be filled with beehive of activities, but no thanks to the current economic hardships in Nigeria.
Our selling line is so difficult. What we get last year is different than this year, and we don't have enough cash with us, so the market is so difficult. Something is too high for us. What we bought last year is not what we bought this year. So the market was so dull, and some people do not have money in their hand. So we are here managing.
With the prices of these rams and additional expenses, the market is quite expensive. The size of ram we sold for 60,000 last year is sold between 130 and 140,000 naira. There is trouble in the land. Imagine investing in this business only to come here without patronage. This is quite a sad one for us. On why the patronage is low, residents explain that most families can no longer afford the luxury of purchasing livestock for festivities like Eid al-Kabir.
The thing is the way they were telling the price is very funny. It's very hard. Small ram that we bought last year of 70,000 naira. This year it was 150. It is 150 now. So the thing is very funny. We don't know how the country. So every day you go to market, you see things are going up. We don't know what is happening. Please, the government need to do something about this. Please.
The removal of petrol subsidy by President Bola Tinubu has continued to change the way of life of Nigerians. At best, most families now depend on hope for survival. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
And in business, the president of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, says it is expanding the storage capacity of his refinery by 600 million litres. This, according to him, will enable the refinery to have a storage capacity of 5.3 billion litres. Dangote spoke at the AfriExim annual meetings in Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum in Nassau, the Bahamas, on Wednesday. The billionaire alleged that international oil companies refused to sell crude oil to his refinery because they did not want him to succeed. The business mogul said the refinery would be a strategic reserve for refined products. The Dangote Petrochemical Refinery currently has 4.78 billion litres of storage capacity for refined petroleum products. Away from Nigeria, South African lawmakers have been sworn in on Friday ahead of the election of President and Vice President on Friday in Cape Town. The Chief Justice Raymond Zondo oversaw the first part of the parliamentary session, during which lawmakers took the oath of office. In the second part of the session, parliamentarians will elect the President and Vice President. Cyril Ramaphosa is seeking a second term as leader of Africa's most industrialized economy, but his African National Congress party has been weakened after losing its long-held majority in election last month. 80 political parties are represented in the South African Parliament for this 5-year term, from the ANC with 159 seats to the PARC, the Good Party, and the UAT Party with 1 seat each. MK Party, which ended third in the May 29 poll, has decided not to attend the inaugural session of Parliament, alleging there was election rigging by the Independent Electoral Commission. A Benue court has jailed 3 Nigerians who were detained last week at the port as diplomatic tensions deepen between the 2 West African neighbors. 5 Nigerians were arrested last week at Semekboji, accused of entering the port illegally. 3 of the 5, including the Deputy General Director of the oil company WAPCO Niger, were jailed on Thursday after appearing before a judge. The trial is set to begin on Monday, June 17. Ties between Benin and Niger have been strained since last year's coup that ousted Nigerian President Mohamed Bazoum, and Benin's port of Semekboji, which exports Niger's oil, is a flashpoint. On the sports scene, FIFA President Gianni Infantino made his maiden visit to Zambia on Thursday, where he launched the FIFA-funded Football Association of Zambia Accommodation Center in Lusaka. Infantino also paid his respects to the victims of the 1993 Gabon air disaster at the memorial site in Lusaka, as well as meeting Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema and Elvis Nkando from the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts on Wednesday evening. The visit highlighted Zambia's gratitude for FIFA support in technical and infrastructure development. President Hichilema emphasized football's universal appeal and urged FIFA to introduce business training for footballers to help manage their earnings post-retirement or in case of injury. He also stressed resolving football management disputes through dialogue. The event underscores the strengthening ties between FIFA and Zambia, promising a brighter future for Zambian football. Finally, in sports, Borussia Dortmund announced on Friday that defender Mats Hummels will leave after 13 years at the club. Hummels' departure comes a day after coach Edin Terzic surprisingly announced he would leave the club just 2 weeks after taking them to the Champions League final. During his stint at Dortmund, Hummels won 2 league titles and 2 German cups, along with reaching the Champions League final in 2013 and 2024. 35-year-old Hummels wound back the clock this campaign in Dortmund's run to the Champions League final and was named in the UEFA Team of the Season. That's a wrap for news updates at this hour. For more news, programs and documentaries, please do want to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us.